All right, this one's all about tables. We're going to do all sorts of things. But first of all, we need to get a table. So we go up to Insert, click on that, go down to Table. You're going to have some different options. You're going to go across for the number of columns. You're going to go down for the number of rows that you want. For the sake of this example, I'm going to do 4 columns and 3 rows. All right. The next thing that I'm going to show you is how to change the border. So you go up here to Table, and you've got all sorts of options. This is actually how you could insert extra rows, you could insert extra columns. I'm going to go to Table Properties. Over here, you got Table Border. You can make it thicker if you want. You can change the color if you want. Let's go red. Red's exciting. So now I got much thicker border and I got a red border. In the event that you wanted to, you could merge some cells. So right now I've got 4 different cells. That's what each little square is called. So let's just say that I wanted my top row to be one big box instead. I would highlight those. I would right click with my mouse and I would go down to merge cells. All right, now it's one big box. Another thing that I might want to do is maybe I want to change the background color. So I'm going to go to these 3 little dots over here, get me some more options. See this little paint can? That's the background color. All right, and I'm going to change this background color to a light blue. So now that cell is a different background color. I can do it for a whole column too if I want to. Go back over to these little dots, click on my little paint can, and change them to, let's say, yellow. All right, so now they're a different color than this and then these. Another thing that I could do is I could highlight the whole table, go back to this More option. You see these border dash options, click on that. I can make it a dashed line instead of a solid line. Getting pretty fancy over here. And the last thing that I wanted to show you is how to adjust the width of the columns. So let's say I'm going to type something in this column that is really long and the other columns not so much. I can adjust the width of the column. So all I did is I click on the line. So see how I have a mouse that looks kind of like an eye? Once I get closer, it changes. It's got arrows on either side. If I click on the line while my mouse looks like that, I can drag it in either direction and adjust the size of the cell. If I wanted to make all of these the same size, because now this one's really tiny and this one's a little bit bigger, I can go up to Table again. I can go to Distribute Columns, and then it automatically resizes all 3 of these so that they're the same size as each other. This one stays the same size that I set it at. I know I said the last thing was the last thing I wanted to show you, but I was lying. There's one more thing. So I had showed you how to make this a dashed line, but maybe you don't want a line at all, in which case you could click on this More. You could go to this solid border width option here, change it to 0 point, and then the lines disappear, but the cells are still there, so you can type in them. But you don't have the lines. So when you print it, it just looks like everything is on plain paper, even though technically there are little boxes there that you can't see.